Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with One Punch Man. Last time on One Punch Man, we had the Obsessive Scientist, where Saitama and Genos were on their way to the House of Evolution, and Genos completely destroyed the House of Evolution, but they went to the sub-lab because all evil geniuses have sub-labs, and they met up with the professor, what was his name? It was like Dr. Genos, wasn't it? It was like really close to Genos, or Genos, sorry, which was very interesting. And yeah, there was the really big guy, the most powerful experiment at the House of Evolution, and Genos had some difficulty beating him. And then Saitama came in, and then they were like, "Oh, how are you so strong?" And he told him his training regiment, and it was honestly just a pretty basic training regiment, and so they didn't really believe that that's how he got that powerful. And then, again, one punch took out the guy, and then they went to go get some bargain sales, basically. Yeah, that was basically that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of One Punch Man, what you gotta do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment, click on the link there. That will take you over to the reaction on whatever site will take it, apparently. Anyway, but yeah, you can go watch it. Hopefully have a good time. I know I'm gonna have a good time, so hopefully you guys have a good time too. And when you're done with that, you can pop right back over here for this video for the most likely short but fun discussion. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this episode of One Punch Man. Here we go. Alrighty, that's episode 4. Man, this one actually made me think about things a little bit, which as we've discussed, we can't do on this show. You know, we really can't, like, actually think. Which is probably, you know, maybe it just sounds a little weird, you know? But, I mean, if you try to, like, really analyze this show, you can't, you know? It's better to just sort of take it, you know? But anyway, yeah, this was a pretty good episode. I still liked it. So yeah, we can go ahead and hop into the notes. The first thing I wrote down is Hammerhead. A very interesting villain for this episode. Very simple backstories in this episode as well, which was very refreshing. You know, we can get a huge scene of every, you know, backstory and stuff. But, you know, Hammerhead, his backstory is just that he doesn't want to work and he wants, you know, he wants equality and stuff like that. But, you know, he did say, it's like, oh, well, it was really just an excuse to get out of work, which I can understand that, you know, and even Saitama understands that, you know. So it's a very interesting backstory, honestly, even if it is pretty simple, you know, just like, oh, I just want to not work. Like, all right. So that was pretty interesting. We had the suits, which was pretty cool. You know, it shows that you don't have to be... Well, I mean, I guess, you know, I was going to say it shows, like, you don't have to be, like, physically strong in order to compete, basically. You know, he just had the suit. But, on the other hand, he didn't really do that well, you know, even against Sonic. And, you know, we've also sort of had... just with Genos, that, you know, he is a cyborg and that's how he's so powerful, you know, but even still, he's nowhere near the level that Saitama is at. But yeah, the suits were still kind of interesting, you know, because at first, you know, when they show this, like, gang, and it's like, okay, well, you know, they're not really being taken seriously, like, no one's listening to them, but then they go over to the one building, and in one punch... you know, they bring this building down. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's a good way of establishing, like, yeah, these guys are pretty strong, you know? Sonic definitely fell into Speed of Sound Sonic. He definitely fell into the Genos category of this episode, where it's like, okay, he's here to sort of prolong the fight. And even he, you know, was making quick work of this gang, and then quick work of Hammerhead himself. Sorry, I'm posting a video. It's noon. Okay. was the Husbands of River Song. The Doctor Who episode just went up. So, yeah. Anyway. So, I mean, even he was making quick work of, like, this gang. But still, still, he still took a little bit longer than Saitama would have, So he basically fell into the Genos category of this episode. I like that, Saitama, he's thinking like, okay, these are just some punks. I don't really need to go deal with this. But then he realized like, oh, they're all bald, and everyone is pointing out that they're specifically bald, and he says, oh, if I go out, people are going to think that I'm one of them because I'm bald. They're going to besmirch the name of bald people. So I thought that was really funny. That's why he has to go out and do this. So that was really funny. I wrote down Moomin Rider, but he really didn't do too much. I crossed it out actually because I thought that he died, but he didn't actually. But yeah, it was interesting that after all of this, he's the one that actually gets the credit. I thought that was kind of funny. Then we had Speed of Sound Sonic. Again, again he had a very simple backstory of he had a very simple backstory of like, oh, I trained in my village and I have all this knowledge and skills and stuff. And I want to be the best, basically. Like, it was actually a very simple backstory, and I appreciated that. And you can definitely tell that Saitama appreciated it. But yeah, like, I mean, he did sort of feel like another Genos, where it's like, okay, he's here, he's powerful, but he's not as powerful as Saitama, obviously, and now he wants to get stronger to to surpass Saitama. But instead of being a disciple, he's going to be more of a rival. So that'll be interesting to get him back. We had the spin attack. I thought that was kind of funny that Saitama was like, oh, that's the move I used to use as a kid. Like, all right, that was kind of funny. I like that. And then, he just immediately just stops it. And then, I like, he uses just one elbow to break the entire suit. I thought that was really funny. But he did spare him. Which was really funny. Just let him go. I was like, hey, just stop being bad. Just go. Like, you're not worth killing. Which is interesting because, like we've said before, Saitama has no real problem killing any villain, But he definitely realized, like, okay, this is just a guy who wanted to get out of work, So, we had the nut shot, which was pretty funny. And again, with Sonic, zooming around at the speed of sound. Running around at the speed of sound. I don't know the rest of the song, but him going all around is like, how could you possibly keep up? And he lunges at Saitama, and I just love he just turns around, just, can I go home? He just at that speed, but he's still just his normal face is just, can I go home now? So that was really funny. And then the nut shot was really funny, and he tried. Because I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, he's about to kill this guy with a nut shot. Like, oh god, what does a one-punch nut shot, feel like? That's got to be horrible. But it was basically like, he started to, but he did, like, pull his hand away before he did too much damage, basically. So I thought that was really fun. And then adding in an actual intermission was actually really funny. But yeah, then we had, popularity, which is an interesting idea that, Saitama is not actually registered as a hero. Because, I mean, from the beginning, we hear about the Hero Association and that they send out these heroes, but we really didn't know that Saitama was not a part of the Hero Association. So that was actually a very interesting development. It does make you wonder, like, okay, if he's not getting paid for his hero work, how does he get paid at all? Because we never see him at a job, So that's sort of one thing where it's like, okay, well, wait, how? But then it's one of those things, again, with this show, you just don't think about it. It's like, how has he, gotten money if he doesn't have a job? Don't think about it. Doesn't matter. What matters is we're moving on to Saitama trying to become recognized and, be registered as a proper hero. That's what we need to focus on, not how has he been getting money all this time, But yeah. That was a really cool little development that he's not actually registered as a hero. And so now both he and Genos are going to go get registered. So yeah. And I assume that's just going to be next episode is, the two of them getting registered. So I'll be curious to see, like when they go up to this like big, building where they're going to get their hero licenses. This immediately makes me think of My Hero Academia. I just got done this week. I just got done watching My Hero Academia, where they're getting their provisional licenses, provisional hero license, and they just finished up the test, and this is reminding me so much of that. But I would love to see how One Punch Man deals with that. How are they going to make that comedic and goofy and fun? So yeah, I'll be very interested with that. But that's basically it. Again, another good episode. Very curious to see what the hero registration is going to be like. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my One Punch Man reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.